Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Today I want to talk about part 5 of Signs of a Successful Co-Parenting Relationship. And I'm speaking from my own perspective. I'm not a expert, just an expert in parenting 3 children. So the next part is mutual respect is given on each side. I mean, you've made it clear that you're not going to be petty or Mr. Petty or Miss Petty, and you're going to get along for the sake of your children. It's not going to be about what you need, but what's mutually beneficial for your children. And you have made it clear that you are finished trying to work it out with each other. It's clear that you don't want to try or test the relationship again. I think a lot of the drama comes from people not making it clear that, look, we tried again, and we can't try anymore because it's not working. And I think a lot of times people don't set that realistic expectation that the relationship is finally done and over with. We're just going to move forward for the sake of our children. We're going to be happy for the sake of our children. And another sign is that your co-parenting successfully is that you're happy to see your ex because they no longer bring drama into your life. No one's promoting their singleness online. I think a lot of times people go into these relationships thinking that, let me just show the ex what they could have had or what they would have had, what they should have had. No, let's not do that. Let's move forward. Let's be adults here and stop playing childish games. Another sign of successful co-parenting is that your children look happy and say that they are happy. Like, they're happy. They're no longer sleeping a lot of long extended hours. Like, that's a sign that something's going on, and you need to evaluate that. And your ex doesn't have a clue about your finances. That's the next thing, that you're co-parenting successfully. Because sometimes we feel like if we throw something into the ex's face, we're making it feel like they missed out on a good person. We don't need to do that. They don't need to know that much about you. You just need to move forward and worry about your children and taking care of your children. Both parents can communicate and have a real conversation. That's when you co-parenting successfully. It's not about you, being BFFs, but it's about you getting along again for the sake of your children. You don't have to be best buddies, you don't have to be BFFs, you don't have to do any of that, but you can actually sit down and have a real grown adult conversation with each other without going off on each other. Another sign is that no one invites a new person to celebrations for your child or children. I think in the beginning, it takes time to get over what could have been, what should have been, what would have been, what might have been. And when you invite new people into the mix, it just draws so much tension and anger and anguish and just people getting upset over the littlest things because somebody hasn't moved on. So don't invite, you're not inviting new people into your celebrations for your child or your children. Let the new person understand that first maybe 2 years, you may not be able to invite that person. Or if you want to have a celebration, inviting that person, have the child have 2 celebrations. If you know it's not going to work, where the ex is still being toxic, those first 2 years may be the hardest, because that's the end of that relationship. Some people don't mourn those relationships, and that's where the problem comes in. They don't let go. They don't experience that final moment of letting go and saying, look, I moved on. It's over. Like, that's it. So don't invite new people. Inviting new people into the mix is always toxic. It's like throwing oil on the gas into water. What do they call it? Oil into gasoline or something. Like, you're making the flames go higher. So if you want to do a celebration where you invite the new person, do it separate from the ex's celebration. Let your ex have a celebration, and then you have your own celebration. And don't rub that into the other person's face. And then perhaps it's not time yet, it's because people will have to process all of this stuff. You have to process. And another sign of successful co-parenting is that no one's blaming the other for being a bad parent. Like, we all make mistakes. Nobody gave us the parenting guide. Nobody gave us the code on being a great parent. So sometimes you just have to apologize to each other and move forward. But the blame game doesn't go on. Another sign of successful co-parenting is that no one's making the other parent look bad. You're not bad-mouthing that person. You're not making them act like they're crazy. You're not trying to act like you're the best parent in the universe to make the other person look bad. You're not bad-mouthing them in front of your kids, behind your kids' back, behind their back. Like, you're just mutually saying, look, I'm going to be the bigger person here. I'm going to say, enough is enough. We're going to move forward for the sake of our children. And we're going to do it. Because it's going to be less stressful for you, So just make sure that you understand these things. And the most important thing is moving on with your life and letting that other person move on. Nobody, sorry for the printing paper here, but I have my little notes in here. Nobody can make a grown person do anything. You can't make them love you. You can't even make them like you. And a lot of times we realize when we have children with that person that the relationship should have never been there in the first place. But we move forward because of the sake of our children. And we move forward because we know that that's the best thing to do to get our children back on track emotionally. And I remember going through my divorce and saying, look, it's time that I buckle down and say, this is what it is. This is what's happening. This is what I'm going to have to go through. And it's like it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders because I realized that I had to, do something different, And for the sake of our son, my youngest son, I had to move forward and say, look, I can't live like this with anger and just messing up my mental health and making me toxic. And once I let it go, my life was smoother, And I remember doing things to try to make the ex jealous, and none of that ever worked out because all it did was make them more toxic than they already were. The exes couldn't handle the things I was trying to pull. So you have to be cautious with telling your ex where you are in your relationships. They don't need to know all that. If they happen to come up on something, they'll get angry because you're trying to go to the movies or something. That's on them. That's not your fault. That's their anger. That's their state of their mentality. That's how goofy they are, at the time. And those can be goofy too because sometimes mentally we haven't advanced our mindset to match up with our age. It's called oh boy, I forgot the word they call it. You're behind with your mentality. Like you say you're 40, but you act like you're 25 or 30. And that mindset is very, very toxic. Delayed growth, delayed adulthood. But there's a specific word for it, which I can't think of it right now. But anyway, if I do, I'll put it I'll pin it. But yeah, so we have to get over ourselves and understand that, we are adults. We have to act like adults. We have to buckle down and be ourselves and be understanding of, we're not perfect, and it's okay that we're not perfect. But the thing is to do what's best for your children and stop acting like, you can't handle the truth with a relationship. There's so many relationships going to come and go. Relationships come and go, and some of them do have an expiration date. Some of them will expire before you want them to. But what can we do about it? We cannot change anybody else. We can only change ourselves. We cannot change how other people feel about us. We cannot change how they treat us. But we don't have to accept it. We can move forward successfully. And that's what I want you all to do with this channel, move forward successfully. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next video.